describe the kidney, what is kidney, what is the weight of kidney, size of kidney, and the shape of kidney. This is a figure which shows diagram of the kidney, in which the right kidney and left kidney. Above the left or right kidney is adrenal glands, the supply, vascular supply, renal artery, renal veins, ureters, urinary bladder, and urethra. Okay. This is a pathophysiologically, microscopically diagram of the globe, which shows epithelial cells, basement membrane surrounded by the podocytes, endothelial cells inside, and trabecular of the mesangial matrix and mesangial cells. So, the disease of the kidney. Disease of the glomeruli. The kidney contains the part is the glomeruli, tubules, interstitium, and vessels which supply the kidney, as I showed in the diagram. So the disease of the globe is the glomerulonephritis. Disease of the tubules is the tubulitis, and disease of the interstitium, interstitial nephritis, and disease of the blood vessels is vasculitis. So the glomerular disease defined as the spectrum of renal disease of the varied etiology and clinically presentation that are characterized by clinical and histological evidence of the glomerular damage. Means clinical and histological. We have need both evidences for the damage, what damage of the glomerular disease. So GN, glomerulonephritis, is recognized as the second commonest cause of the chronic kidney disease worldwide. In developed countries, it is still the third commonest cause of the end-stage renal disease in many countries. CKD basically 5 stages. The last stage is called end-stage renal disease. So the GN, glomerulonephritis, is the second most common cause of chronic kidney disease worldwide, but in developed countries is the third commonest cause. The glomerular disease accounts for a significant proportion of the kidney disease. There are many causes of glomerular damage. Immunological injuries, inherited disease can also injury of the glomes, or glomerular disease, deposition of abnormal proteins such as amyloid and glomeruli, as we discussed in the nephrotic syndrome and nephrotic syndromes. Most patients with the glomerular disease do not present acutely and are asymptomatic. Some patient or most patient cannot be symptomatic at the time of presentation until abnormalities are detected on the routine screening of blood or urine samples, as we discussed in the first lecture, the baseline investigation for the diagnosis of renal diseases. Pathogenesis of the glomerular injury is a complex interplay between the genetic factors, congenital nephrotic syndrome, acquired immune and non-immune factor, immune mechanism, and the cellular immunity, humoral immunity, complement system cascade, coagulation cascade, and soluble factors. This is the pathogenesis. Okay, the descriptive terms, all glomerulars means diffuse and focal. Diffuse means involving more than 50% of the glomeruli. Focal means involving less than 50% of the glomeruli. If suppose we take the piece of glomes on the slide for the microscopy, if there is a 6 glomes, if 4 glomes are involved, it indicate the diffuse glomerular disease. If less than 3 is called the focal glomerular diseases. Individual glomerulus, global, if all or almost all glomerulus stuff are involved. Segmental, if only part of the glomerulus is involved. Okay, the clinical evolution of the glomerular disease: history, physical examination, and investigation. Three components for the diagnosis of glomerular disease. So, the clinical presentation of the glomerular disease: asymptomatic proteinuria 150 milligram to 3 gram per day, hematuria more than 2, red blood cells, RBCs more than 2. In the macroscopic hematuria, this is a general description as we discussed earlier in the nephrotic, rapidly progressive glomerulonephritis and chronic glomerulonephritis. So the macroscopic hematuria, we discussed in the first lecture, brown, red, painless hematuria we see in the naked eye with the naked eye. In nephrotic syndrome, we discussed the triad previously, proteinuria more than 3 or 3.5 gram in 24 hours, hypoalbuminemia less than 2.5 or 3.5 gram per day, edema, hypercholesterolemia, and lipiduria. In nephrotic, oliguria means the decreased urine output less than 400 ml in 24 hours. We discussed in the first lecture, hematuria, red cell cast, proteinuria urine less than 3 gram. In nephrotic, more than 3 or 3.5, but in nephritic, less than 3 gram. Edema can be present, hypertension, and abrupt onset, usually self-limiting of the renal failure. Symptom of the glomerular disease: proteinuria, large amount of the protein in the urine, hematuria, blood in the urine, reduced glomerular filtration rate, inefficient filtering of waste from the blood, hypoproteinemia, low blood protein, edema, swelling in the part of body, can be NSRK. Laboratory studies: assessment of the renal function, examination of the urine for the protein, and quantifying of the urine protein. As I discussed in the first lecture, 24-hour urinary collection to see the proteinuria, spot urine protein creatinine ratio to see the concentration or quantifying the protein amount in the urine. Also, microscopically examination to see the presence or absence of the dysmorphic or red blood cell and cost. If present in the microscopy, the dysmorphic cells and cost indicate the glomerular injury. Certain serological tests which leads to diagnosis: the Leon's ANA, double-stranded DNA, C3, serum C3 and serum C4 levels, CH50, cryoglobulins, and RA factor. Anti-GBM, ANCA, ASO titer, streptozyme test. Serum and urine electrophoresis will detect the monoclonal light chains or heavy chains for amyloid or light chain deposition diseases. This is the overview which over all the investigation indicated here to diagnosis what the lesion can be. Okay. This is the hypercomplementemia in the glomerular disease, the diseases which affected and which pathway can lead to the pathway affected: classical pathway activation in which the C3 low, C4 low, CH50 low. What diseases? Lupus nephritis, especially class 4, and cryoglobulinemia, membranoproliferative glomerulonephritis type 1. In these three lesions, the both C3 and C4 and CH50 will be low in the serum. Alternative pathway: C3 low or C4 normal, CH50 low. What the lesion can be present in this post-streptococcal glomerulonephritis are GN, which are associated with the infections like endocarditis or shunt nephritis, hemolytic uremic syndromes. and plus no C3 nephrotic factor, dense deposit disease, formerly membranoproliferative GN type 2, which we discussed, and the lesion of the nephrotic syndrome. Reduced complement level could be acquired and hereditary. Acquired hepatic disease and malnutrition means this the the complement formation in the liver. So liver disease can decrease the formation of complements levels. Malnutrition also decrease the formation of complements. So these are the acquired causes. Imaging, ultrasound scanning to assess the kidney size, normal in 9 to 11 centimeter, is often normal in the GN. So in the glomerulonephritis, in initial stage, the renal size would be normal. Large kidney more than 14 centimeter are sometimes seen in the nephrotic syndrome associated with the diabetes, amyloid disease, or HIV infection. Large kidneys can be occasionally be seen with any acute severe GN. Small kidney Small kidney less than 9 centimeter is the definition suggests advanced chronic kidney disease. In the chronic kidney disease, the kidney size should be normal. In acute glomerulonephritis, kidney size can be normal or slightly increase or enlarge kidney. But in chronic kidney disease, the kidneys should be less than 99 centimeter. So the renal biopsy is the gold standard to diagnosis what the lesion of the glomerulonephritis. So the renal biopsy is generally required to establish the type of glomerular disease and to guide treatment decision. It is mandatory to perform in almost all cases, but except in nephrotic children of school-going age, a strong clinical suspect of the good posture syndrome, long-standing diabetes mellitus, and other evidence of the microvascular complication of the diabetes. So what the general treatment? We discussed the general treatment of the glomerular diseases. So general measures, weight reduction, dietary changes, low protein diet, low salt intake, regular exercise, smoking cessation, judicious water intake, treat blood pressure, reduce proteinuria, control edema, and other metabolic consequences, lifestyle modifications. This is a general measure of the overall we taken in the glomerular disease. The actual treatment, the definitive treatment is according to the cause of the lesion of glomerulonephritis.